Well, howdy, y'all. This is Jason Delgado with the Confessing Baptist Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 12th, 2015. This is the headlines from the Dunker Bunker, your weekly audio source for all things 1689. And I'm coming to you live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And joining me way down in the heart of Texas.
Oh yeah, hey, that's me. Junior Duran. Hey, good evening,
Yeah, it's
everybody.
just us two. Don't forget, it's just us two. Unless
Yeah.
unless Javi does us again. And this time we're hoping to come to you without any horrible audio connections and whatnot. So far, connection's good, so we're gonna keep up with it. Oh man! But anyways, we do have some news and some new books that came out. So let's get to it. Junior, you want to kick us off with some new events? I will take that as a no. Well, I will kick us
Well,
off.
I'm hearing. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hey, so there. Okay, good.
I thought we weren't having audio problems.
I had to close the window because I was hearing the delayed feed. Man, it was
Oh.
pretty weird.
Oh, great. Oh well.
But we fixed that. We fixed that.
Okay,
I closed the
good.
window, and it appears to have fixed that. In the
Excellent.
news. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Right. March 24th, which is a couple of weeks. So today's the 12th, so about 2 weeks away, is the annual Spurgeon Fellowship in Edgewater, Florida. It's a pastor's banquet. The theme this year is the church as a pillar of truth, and it features James White. Again, this is in Edgewater, Florida, March 24th. Again, in about 2 weeks. It's Tuesday night. Um, First Baptist Church, Edgewater. 5 p.m. is a banquet. 6:30, the church as a pillar of truth. Again, this is a pastor's this is a conference. It's one day. It's a pastor's banquet. So, oh yeah. So RSVP ASAP. Seating is limited. It's on reserved on a first come first served basis. You can email Pastor Bolton there, and we have the link to his email. Again, SpurgeonFellowship.org. They do this every year. Well, yeah, every year. Spurgeon Fellowship. They've been in Florida for a while.
Yep. So we've been telling you 2 weeks ago. We mentioned a lot of the upcoming Florida. Oh, I'm hearing that delay again.
Close the window. Close the other window.
What other window? I have nothing else open.
Okay. So I had to do that, and it went away.
Why is it doing this to us? Yeah, see, I'm still hearing it. Do you have earphones in? Because I'm hearing it.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, Let me see. Why are you doing this? Check. Ugh.
Is it just you're delaying, or me?
I don't hear you delaying. I hear me echoing in my ear.
Yeah, because when I had when I started, we'll start over again, man, because we just started. But when I started it, it was delayed, like everybody was delayed, and I had that one window open, that Google Plus page open, so I closed it and it went away.
Huh. I closed that already. Let me see if I close. Let me see what else I have. I should not have anything. Let me switch mics and switch back. I don't know why it's doing this. Check, check. Nope. Check, check. Nope. Hello, hello. Nope, still echoing. I don't know. Let me exit and rejoin. So just keep it as is.
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
I still hear an echo. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Let me close this. No, I pretty much have everything closed. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well,
You still hearing it for real?
I, are you not hearing it? If you're not hearing it, then it should be fine.
No, I'm not hearing it.
Okay, we'll
I,
just
I
carry
did
on where.
before. That's only because I had that plus window open
Oh, that's
on the
weird.
phone.
Okay. Well, I'll just continue off where I left off. Try not to hear myself.
When I what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you are every now and then you sound kind of digitally, you know. I get that digital sound every now and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think that's.
not too often. Not too often.
Okay. Well, I'll just go on.
Okay.
All right, another upcoming event we have is happening August 29th through September the 4th, 2015. It is titled Man and Sin. It is a Reformed Baptist Seminary module featuring Pastor Greg Nichols in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And let me read you what Reformed Baptist Seminary wrote. They wrote, RBS invites you to attend our 2015 Summer Theological Seminar on the Doctrine of Man and Sin. Pastor Gregory G. Nichols, Professor of Systematics for RBS, will deliver 30 lectures that will expound such topics as the origin, identity, and constitution of man, as well as man's fall into sin, the nature and consequence of sin, and the doctrine of common grace. Grace Manual Reformed Baptist Church of Grand Rapids will host the seminar, which begins Saturday, August 29th, and ends Friday, September the 4th. Lectures of this seminar constitute part of the curriculum for the seminary's course, Man and Sin. Students and auditors are welcome. So we link to the information. You can see the syllabus, get some more information. And with that, let me also remind you all that we have a page full of upcoming events, confessingbaptist.com/upcoming, and there you go. You will get it that way.
Nice. It's always nice to hear. On to the books. So this came out, I think, today. We posted this today in print. The Glory of a True Church by Benjamin Keach and others. Baptist reprints from Free Grace Press. And Keith Throop writes, Free Grace Press, FGP, has begun to reprint important books from past Baptists. These books have been specially selected for their importance for Reformed Baptist history, as well as their helpfulness for the church today. FGP has recently released the second in this reprint series, and the book is called The Glory of a True Church by Benjamin Keach. And so here's a little portion, a little snippet of the book from the website, and we have a little book cover for you. It's only $6. That's a good deal. So Free Grace Press has the privilege of adding another book. Again, Benjamin Keach. Benjamin Keach began preaching at age 18, pastoring at 28. I think we're all well aware of Mr. Keach. This little book was written to be easily and readily available to all, even the poor. Many Congregationalists had written large books on the subject, but Keach was the first of the Baptists to put forth a book on the church discipline. And he made it short in hopes that would spark a Baptist discussion that would show the order and beauty of Baptists in the midst of the church of England's persecution on them. Though it is short, it's packed with practical examples of church discipline and contagious love for the church. You'll find it very easy to read, and the book is sure to grow you in your love for Christ and His church, and to bring order to the church as well. Also, this book has been out for a while, is Baptist, the Only Thorough Reformers, from John Quincy Adams, and no, not that John Quincy Adams. So we recommend this as well. And again, here's a description from the website. What does it mean to be a Baptist? Though ideas abound, we must go to the one man for a sure answer, John Quincy Adams. For with unashamed boldness and clarity, Adams articulates the fundamental distinctives of the Baptist faith. These fundamentals include the importance of sola scriptura, believers' baptism, the separation of church and state, equality of the saints, and liberty of conscience. Even C.H. Spurgeon calling it the best manual of Baptist principles he had met. Included in the text in his Pastor College curriculum. It was first published in 1858 and reprinted multiple times since then. And this work has become a classic tome upon Baptist principles. So check it out. It's been out for a while. That's the first book from Baptist Press, I'm sorry, FGP, Free Grace Press, and good prices too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was interesting that we had mentioned this a couple of months ago. We gave away a couple of the books, but we didn't have a proper book announcement thing for it, so I kind of included that in that since Keith Throop had mentioned it as well. So with that, another book that we had already told you about a couple months back as well, titled 30 Days of Devotions from the Sermons of Andrew Fuller. This is from Evangelical Heritage Press. We told you about this when it came out on Kindle. It is now available in print. So we already talked about it. You can get it $5.95 in print or £3.90. It's on Kindle. It's still $2.99, but it's a short book, 74 pages. Quick description of it. We all know who Andrew Fuller is. I'll just skip down to the purpose of the 30 Days of Devotion from the Sermons of Andrew Fuller is twofold: to introduce the reader to the sermons of pastor theologian Andrew Fuller, and to provide an edifying resource that will further your love for God and the gospel of Jesus Christ. So there you go.
Yep, 74 pages, Evangelical Heritage Press, and that's the first book I've seen from them. So we have to check out the website there, and we have the link for the publisher. All right, so a Kindle deal, and you all remember this, we talk about this all the time. You have to get on these Kindle deals because they go away. So don't be mad if you click on the link and it's not there anymore. But this time, yeah, Richard Barcellos, $3.99, £2.59. The Lord's Supper as a Means of Grace. More Than a Memory. I love that title, More Than a Memory. It is a memorial, but it's more than that. So again, yeah. So we've told you all so much about this book. If you don't have it, get it. While the getting's good, $2.99. You can't. It's a good deal. So real quick here, it's 113 pages, so it's a good book from Christian Focus Publications, and it's text-to-speech enabled on Kindle. Dr. Barcellos' specific focus is to show us how the Lord's Supper is a means of grace. The study is divided under 4 headings: the terminology connected to the Lord's Supper in the New Testament, the biblical data that supports the Lord's Supper as a means of grace, the confessional formulation of the Lord's Supper as a means of grace in the Reformed tradition, and then some final thoughts. Again, Dr. Barcellos is always good.
Indeed. So that brings us to the audios and videos. Hey, Junior, try muting your mic, because for some reason I'm going through your connection. Like, you see how I'm talking and it's going through you?
No. Oh, yeah, mute. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah, try muting it when I'm talking just to see if it...
Okay, hold on.
Because you muted it earlier and it wasn't doing that.
Okay.
Check. 1, 2. Can you... see, I don't know if you can still hear me, though. Check. For some reason... Well, that's weird.
I can hear you.
You can? Okay. Well, for some reason it doesn't echo for me, so if you can just do that for my own sanity. I hope the recording comes out okay. But anyways, that brings us to audio and videos. And the first one that we posted, we didn't post very much. This is actually one that we told you about. Baptist Rooted in Covenant Grace, that conference featuring James White. The audio is already online. We told you about it last week. And audio is already online, so that's really cool. Again, let me remind you of the sessions: Genealogy Baptist Style, How Christians Have Put the Bible Together, Part 1 and 2, How Early Baptists Put the Bible Together, and then the Lord's Day service from Haggai 2, 10 through 19, The Nature of True Religion, is out there. And when Eric and I were talking about this, we were kind of joking around, like, what are you talking about? Like, how Christians put the Bible together? Are they talking about book binding or things like that? Well, obviously, we were kidding. But what they were talking about, I got a chance to listen to some of these. I haven't listened through all of them yet, but they do deal with hermeneutics primarily. So he interacts with dispensationalism, covenant theology, and particular Baptist covenant theology and things like that. So you'll get covenant theology in it, which is one of the reasons that 1689federalism.com also featured it on their resource list as well. So that may not be directly obvious from the titles alone, but just give you the FYI. That is what that is about. But speaking of James Ranahan, we also had him on our interview number 82, right, Junior?
Yeah, and it was excellent. It was about an hour long. And we've interviewed Dr. Ranahan before on episodes number 7, 21, and 22. And yeah, but it's an hour long, and it's surprising because I never get tired of hearing him. I'm always learning something new from Dr. Ranahan. So it was about Gerbs, but it was really good. So Gerbs, again, is the Journal of the Institute of Reformed Baptist Studies, Gerbs, right? Journal JRBS. And so topics include purpose and importance of the journal, Christian liberty and our modern mindset. That was good, Jason. I like that.
Thanks.
Overview of the articles in the 2015 journal. Tools, this is good too. Tools for studying this 1689, and then his 1689 commentary project, and then the purpose and overview of the book and other reviews. So there's more in there. We link to all this stuff. So Jason or whoever did this, I appreciate linking to everything. So we have the Institute for Reformed Baptist Studies. Christ Reformed Baptist Church is where I guess Dr. Ranahan teaches at. Samuel Bolton's True Bounds of Christian Freedom. Dr. Ranahan's, okay, Jason, I wanted this. Baptist Symbolics Lectures. I got to hear that.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know it's available online. I guess I didn't know that.
It is. But the reason you probably haven't heard it yet is because I'm clicking on the page, and I believe it is like $200 to audit or to take the class. So it's part of the Nehemiah Cox Study Center class. So it's
right.
You pay $200. So 16-week class, but there's nothing like it. So that's really the only way you can currently get until that commentary comes out.
Right. And then there's the Reformed Baptist Theological Review, which is the old journal, a previous journal rather. Then tools for studying the 1689. He mentioned Richard Mueller's Dictionary of Latin and Greek Theological Terms, or Mueller, yeah. David Dixon's Truth, Victory Over Error, which is a Banner of Truth publication. David Dixon was a contemporary of the Westminster authors, so very important. The Oxford English Dictionary, I like the discussion of that. And then he recommended, I haven't finished the interview, but he did, it says here he linked to, or he recommended Puritan Theology, no wait, did he recommend that?
No, that got into, that should be part of the, not under the tools for studying the 1689, but under the book reviews.
Okay,
somehow that crept in there the wrong place or something.
Sneaky, see, that's Mark Jones sneaking up on us.
Oh yeah, he's a sneaky one.
There's a bunch of book reviews, one of which is Joel Beeke and Mark Jones, Puritan Theology, A Doctrine for Life. And then we have questions that come in.
Oh, wait, hold on. I know what that Puritan Theology there. That should be in the linkage section because we talked about that because one of the journal articles interacts with that. The Dolphin in the Woods article that Sam Ranahan wrote.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. And then we have questions come in again. Thank you all for your questions. And what songs at the end of the broadcast. So we link to those as well, and I'll start doing that more when I include these on there. But it's a great interview. It's about an hour long with Dr. Ranahan, so check it out. It's really good.
Yep. Well, with that, we get into the Ask a Reformed Baptist, and this week we had the question, what's a Reformed Baptist? Can there be such a thing? A question which is often asked of us when we say we are Reformed Baptists. Tom Chantry wrote this. Before we can answer whether Reformed Baptists exist, we must first identify what that designation means. Reformed Baptist is a term, albeit a compound term, with a definition and a history. Understanding that history is necessary if anyone is going to understand what the first word in the term means. While a number of useful brief definitions exist, I intend to address the question from the standpoint of history. And then from there we link to his post defining Reformed Baptist again, which was actually a part of the he had previously blogged on this when he was writing the Holding Communion Together. He took down a lot of the posts from there when it became a book. There's still some out there you can see. So he kind of put this back out here again so you could have something to bookmark, to point people to explain, what Reformed Baptist means, what's the history. So it goes into the history, goes into the etymology, things like that. So y'all can enjoy that. I also did add that into one of the roundups we posted last year when R. Scott Clark was, giving Reformed Baptists a hard time again about using Reformed in front of Baptist. I kind of did a roundup of a lot of posts on that. I added this one to that, so we have more links about this topic than just this one, and it's actually linked in the when you go to the page and it says, "Oh, you might also like this article." It's linked there as well. So, but with that brings us to the Baptibots, and I'm going to start off the Baptibots telling you about some of the many podcasts that were posted this week, and the majority of them were by James White. So let's start off with The Dividing Line. On March 6th, this was last Thursday, we had recorded early, so we didn't hear the most recent, I guess, last Thursday's Dividing Line with James White, but it was titled A Message to Theonomists, Acts 2:39 and Consistent Hermeneutics, Evangelical Arminians, and Acts 13:48. So even though he said he wasn't going to talk about theonomy, he talked a lot about theonomy in that episode. And then March 10th, this was Tuesday, it was titled A Bit More Discussion on Theonomy, My Knighthood Attempt, Leekton Flowert, Leighton Flowers, sorry, and Purposeless Evil. And for those of you who don't know, Leighton Flowers is an Arminian, and he's going to debate James White in McKinney, Texas, in May. I'll have more about that in the Twitter post. They're going to debate on what is the view of salvation presented in Romans 9. So you can check that out. And today, they haven't had a formal title yet, but they already posted the MP3 and the video. It is Leighton Flowers on John 6, so he's kind of interacting, doing some debate preparation there. And Zakir Hussein on Deuteronomy 18:18, so I linked to the MP3 video. Covenant Legacy Podcast, as he promised, Eric did put out an episode. It's episode number 6, Off the Cuff, titled Singing Praises to Whom? And also James White on March 9th and 11th. That was Monday and Wednesday of this week. He was the guest host on the Janet Medford show. So I'm just going to read quickly his. That's basically 6 hours, but of course that's with a lot of commercials. So it turns out to be maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of actual audio. But let me read. Hour 1 on March 9th was Dr. James White of Alpha and Omega Ministries fills in for Janet. And Hour 2, he kind of continues where he left off. He's talking about Christian theology and apologetics. Hour 3, Dr. James White talks abortion ministry and saving babies with Pastor Jeff Durbin of Apologia Church. On March 11th, Hour 1, he got into the topic of the church being on the wrong side of history, a very talked about thing today. Hour 2 is God's moral law still relevant today? Something very relevant. And Hour 3, what it means to be salt and light in a decaying culture. So a lot of interesting stuff there. I listened to a couple of the hours, and this is a very different audience than what he usually gets on the dividing line. So one guy called in, just questioning. It was really funny. He's like, "Are you a 5-point Calvinist?" He's like, "You tell me you believe in limited atonement." It's a different audience, so I'll just leave it at that. With that, Judy, you want to tell us what else the Baptibots rounded up for us, some of the highlights you posted?
Yeah, so again, listeners, all y'all, this is the hardest part of my week is selecting some highlights from the Baptibots because there's so much that's so good. And so I was thinking before I got in here, I'll probably stop highlighting some series because I bring them up again. So real quick, Paul Gordon at Gordon Flash with Spurgeon on Theology Proper. M.R. Foreman at the Decablog with his series Singing as a Means of Grace. And I probably won't be bringing that one up again because I bring it up like every week. Doug Van Doren at Decablog with series Non-Biblical Literature and the Bible. Jason McIntyre at, I think it's Irish or Scottish, so I can't pronounce it. Fidelay Moore, maybe. Jason, let me know how to pronounce that. You know what, Jason? Call our voicemail number and tell us how to pronounce that.
There you go.
And we'll give it out later on. Jason with reasons not to use the Book of Common Prayer. This is from John Gill, and you gotta love John Gill. And for those in the background, y'all, Jason McIntyre has been interacting with Anglicans, and so that's why that's up there. Lots of other great stuff. And I hate to pick and choose. It's really tough. There's so much good stuff out there, y'all. Okay, so what you need to do then, instead of listening to me, is go follow the Baptibot RSS feed or the Baptibot Twitter feed. That's what you really got to do. You'll know more than I do.
Boom, just like that. All right, with that, let me give you some of the Twitter highlights. We got some pictures from Richard Barcelos of the GPTS Spring Theology Conference that we've been telling you all about, and that he was a part of as well. So some pictures of him preaching at. He was really, I think he tweeted out earlier. I'm the only Baptist here amongst 20 Presbyterians or something when they went out to dinner. The Soteriology Summit Calvinism debate that I mentioned earlier with Leighton Flowers and James White is happening May 7th, 7 p.m. through 10 p.m. That takes place at the Oaks Baptist Church in Grand Prairie, Texas. Once more information gets out, we will highlight that and post that. But again, the debate topic is which soteriological view is taught in Romans 9. And Tom Chantry, which is actually a pretty interesting debate title. I don't know if that's going to be the final thing because usually it's someone's in the affirmative, someone's in the negative, but that's an open-ended question. But knowing these two guys, one's going to be the Calvinistic view, one's going to be the Arminian view. But anyways, Tom Chantry posted, I think this is arguably the worst page on Wikipedia, and he linked to the Wikipedia Reformed Baptist page, and this was related to his post about what Reformed Baptists are. And I remember when he was talking about it, it mentioned 9 men who were Wikipedia says is Reformed Baptist, and he said the only one who actually subscribes to the 69 on this page is one guy, and it's James White. Everyone else doesn't, so they're not technically Reformed Baptist. Anyways, Solid Ground, all 13 James White titles are on sale this month. Again, just lots of James White stuff. And Jeremy Walker did post the cover title of his book Passing Through. Been telling you about that, Pilgrim Life in the Wilderness. So he said he's putting the final touches on it, and we have what the cover looks like, and looks pretty cool. So I dig it, but it's what's on the inside that counts, right? So with that, I did finish up the Spurgeon Sorrows giveaway. We got those out, and I'm actually waiting for a reply from one of the guys on that. And I also, what else? Oh, the Family Theology. I'm waiting for a reply from one of the guys. We gave out 4 of those, so I'm gonna have to do the hard thing and just be like, if you don't respond, I'm gonna have to give it to someone else. And I hate doing that. I did that one time, and the guy told me he was in Brazil for 2 months, and so he couldn't get email. I don't know. It was something. I felt really bad. I was like, oh, I already gave the book away. Sorry. So don't let that happen. Have someone check your email for you while you're out. Yeah, it's not that important. But anyways, with that, Junior, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, real quick. So thank you again for contacting us, everybody. Email, Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter. Okay, so our voicemail for Jason McIntyre to give us proper pronunciation of his blog name is 512-1689. 512-843-1689. So again, thank you for everybody for all your support, for your contact, for your encouraging messages, for your questions. Thank you, and thank you for commenting. And I appreciate what Dr. Renahan said. He appreciates us as just a resource, getting the word out, and that's what we're here to do. Just get the word out. And so if you know of anything, don't hesitate to drop us a line or a tweet or whatever. Contact us and let us know.
Indeed, couldn't have said it better myself. All right, peace.
Bye.